Good morning. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Kim, and this is a Facebook Live spiritual slow flow yoga class. And thank you for joining. I know there's a number of people that will be hopping on. Kind of developed a little bit of a following over the past week or two, and I'm just excited to get into it. I woke up a little bit tired today, and so whenever that happens, my go-to used to be coffee, and now it's like, okay, I can find what I need just through movement and breath and through yoga. And I was trying to think of like what theme I was going to work with today and what kind of like information I'd be sharing, what little bit of spirituality could I add to the slow flow. And a couple of things came up. One is there is a website that I really like to check in with around the time of the full moon, and the website's called Mystic Mama. So shout out to Mystic Mama. If you guys are curious, you can check that out. I'm going to see if I can pull it up on this other phone that I have, and if I can't, I'll save it for tomorrow, because tomorrow's the actual full moon day, and it doesn't look like I'll be able to. So we're going to stick with the original theme that I woke up thinking about, which is not really tied into yoga. We'll see what comes through. I mentioned in my last class that like anytime that I'm teaching, I tend to kind of clear myself and just let it be a channel. And so the theme that I woke up thinking about was this theme of microdosing. So most people, when they think of microdosing, they think of psilocybin or LSD. Those are two that a lot of people microdose for mood and productivity. I just read a big article about that. But I've been playing with this idea of microdosing like in every part of my life. So I talked a little bit about this with the first video that I did a couple of weeks ago about kind of the homeopathic approach to things, and I was dealing with a lot of fear at the time, so I did something that was really scary. And I mean, not as scary as what was happening in my head, but just in my physical life, I went on a big snowshoe hike that felt kind of scary, and it was kind of that microdose of fear that helped me overcome my fear. It was that like homeopathic approach, and you can check out that video if you're curious a little bit more about that. But specifically because I woke up feeling kind of sleepy today, and I had kind of a rough couple of days over the weekend. It was really interesting. I mentioned last week that I quit drinking coffee. Probably, oh my goodness, October, January, February, March, April, like 6 months ago. And I quit drinking coffee after like 20 years of solid coffee drinking, actually longer than that, probably 24 years. And the past 10 years, very specifically, drinking like 32 ounces of cold brew coffee. Sometimes I would get a refill on that. And I just quit cold turkey. And it was really challenging for me because it was affecting my mood, it was affecting my body, not being on coffee, but actually being off of it. It was causing some, like, in my experience, like a little bit of like shutting down in my central nervous system, a little bit of like a closing in from this like really stimulated place that I had been living. And I felt kind of depressed, honestly. And really looking back, I'm sure that there was, I was physically addicted to this substance that's so common in our culture. And I just didn't want to be addicted to anything. So I took a really long break, 6 months off. And then I had integrated like half cups, like here and there, maybe 3 times over the past couple of months. But last week, I drank a cup of coffee, a whole cup of coffee. And to be full disclosure, I felt amazing. It was like I had so much energy. I felt so clear. I felt so happy. I didn't realize how much coffee like affected my mood. And yeah, I quit cold brew turkey. Tom says, yeah, totally. But you know what happened after that one day of like a coffee high is I had a full-blown migraine. I was like crashing, I felt terrible, and it's like somewhere inside I knew that if I drank another cup of coffee, I would feel great again. But that's a slippery slope. That's like going into those realms of addiction again. So I have been experimenting with this idea of microdosing everything. So I just made an herbal tincture out of some herbs that I found in the woods that are to help with pneumonia. They help clear mucus from the lungs. They're antiviral. So if anybody in Colorado has coronavirus and wants to talk to me, the tincture it'll be about a week and a half before it's actually ready. But just keep that in your mind. If it comes up and you need some of that tincture, let me know. So I had this idea that I'm going to make a coffee tincture. Because what would happen if I, instead of just saying, no, I'm not going to do that anymore, even though it's something that I really love, what if I just let a little bit of it in my life? What if I did like a dropper full in my dandy tea? And that's actually what I did today. There was some instant coffee in my house, and I make a dandelion coffee that tastes a lot like coffee, and I put like 5 little granules in there. And so I'm just playing around with this idea of microdosing everything. I've been going through kind of a hard time in my relationship where my partner and I we spent a lot of time together in the first year and a half of our relationship, and it was kind of in those same realms of addiction. And it was like we were spending all of our time together, and whenever we were together, it was like really hard to separate, and I kind of was having trouble getting my work done and taking space for my self-care and all of this stuff. And so he and I have separated, and he is not living in my house anymore. And it's like we're working towards the ability to be able to like microdose on our relationship and on our time that we spend together. He came over yesterday, or I guess the day before, and it didn't really work. We like spent the whole day together, and we were out in the garden, and we were talking and talking and talking and talking, and it was like that slippery slope of moving into the realms of addiction as opposed to just enjoying what it is that you enjoy for what it is, and then kind of like getting on with your day. I've also been experimenting with microdosing psilocybin, and I have a few different times in my life. I've been reading a lot about that particular protocol, and that's something that I'm really interested in terms of regulating mood, especially because I realized that I was so reliant on coffee for so long. And a lot of that came out of the fact that I was prescribed Ritalin for 17 years of my life, and really my brain was developed on stimulants. And I notice a lot that when I don't have those stimulants in my life, I have a lot of mood changes and also physical changes in my body. But I'm just at this point in my life where I refuse to be addicted to anything or anyone. And so I'm taking that power back. But I'm also willing to like use what works for me and experiment with the idea of microdosing. So how does this apply to your life? I love to teach yoga as a form of movement and moving into stillness and finding meditation. But I really feel like this platform of yoga is a platform to open up deeper spiritual conversations. And maybe they're a conversation between you and me, and we are chatting on Facebook Messenger or on Zoom. But maybe it's a conversation with yourself, or maybe it's a conversation with someone that you love. And so I'll ask you at this time to just close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And just ask yourself this question. Is there any area of your life that could use a little bit more balance? This full moon that we're coming into is the Libra full moon, the scales, the balance. Is there anything in your life that is that slippery slope of addiction as we're all quarantined? It can be a slippery slope when it comes to certain foods or eating habits. Maybe even your use of social media. Is there a way to microdose on social media and not move into that kind of addictive dopamine-fed cycle with it? Maybe it's your relationship. Maybe it's your children. You can microdose with your children, with your connection, and then go take a walk outside, right? So I invite you to just allow this theme to enter your field and to see how it lands for you. And at this time, maybe even set an intention around this theme, or just any intention for the class or for the day or for the week. Once you've set your intention, please bring the palms to press together at heart center. And we'll begin with 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om. In through the nose and out through the mouth. This time sigh. This time Om. When you're ready, gently flutter the eyes open. Let's go ahead and start rubbing the hands together, create some heat here. Thanks for your messages, you guys. Hi, Violet. Hi, Erin. Hi, Lila. All right, so rubbing your hands together, create some heat and some friction here. And then place your hands over the eyes. Allow the heat of the hands to soften the face and smile. And gently flutter the eyes open and float the hands down. We're going to start with just a gentle spinal warm-up, moving the spine in as many ways as we can. So interlace the fingers, inhale, flip the palms, open the heart. And on an exhale, tuck the chin, round through the upper back, press the palms away. Couple more just like that. Inhale up. And exhale, round it down. Ooh. Let's do 2 more. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, slowly release the hands all the way to the floor. I've got to scoot back to do this. But here we are. Now we're finding a forward fold. Allow yourself to just sway side to side and breathe. You might notice yourself sinking deeper and deeper with each breath towards the earth. One more big inhale. And exhale. And slowly come on up. Switch which foot you have in front or on top. Woo. And inhale, reach it up. And exhale, lower the left hand, reach over with the right arm. Inhale up through center. And exhale to the other side. Just start to flow a little bit here Waking up the spine, waking up the back body, waking up the side bodies, waking up the breath. Ooh. Last one. Just make sure you end in the opposite direction from where you began. Inhale up through center. And exhale, take a little twist. Let the hands float down. Inhale up through center. And now exhale, twist in the other direction. Inhale up. And exhale over. Let's do a couple more. So last full round here. Always making sure to end in the opposite direction from where you began. Inhale up through center. And exhale, fold. If you're just joining, just feel free to hop in whenever you can. You don't need a mat or any special equipment. It's just a nice way to ease into the morning. Breathe and move and breathe. Our theme today is microdosing. How can we make sure that we're not moving down a slippery slope with our social media, with our relationships, with our food? How can we just microdose on these things? For me, it was coffee. All right, when you're ready, let's go ahead and find your way into the tabletop position. I like to add a little cushioning under my knees. You're welcome to do that with a blanket, or you can double up the mat, or maybe you're moving on the carpet. Let's just start to undulate and move through some cat-cow positions. You might sway side to side as you're doing this. You might circle. You might roll back and forth. A lot of times you'll hear yoga teachers say, just take any organic movement that feels good to you. So organic movement is just listening to your body. How does it want to move right now? However you're moving, just make sure you're breathing. Let's do 2 or 3 more deep breaths here. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. And when you're ready, please find child's pose. So resting on the knees, allow the big toes to touch, hips to the heels, and release the forehead to the earth. Take a minute to really check in with yourself here. To check in with your intention. Every inhale, breathing in more of that intention. And every exhale, just letting go of anything that might be standing in your way. One more deep breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhale up through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips for downward facing dog. So again, just find any organic movement that feels good to you in your downward facing dog. You can pedal out the feet. Ooh. First thing in the morning, be gentle with yourself. Sway the hips a little side to side as you straighten one leg and press the opposite heel towards the earth. Taking that open mouth exhale, that sigh, anytime you wish. One more big inhale. And exhale. Slowly walk the hands towards the feet. Grab opposite biceps for ragdoll. Soft knees. Let your head hang. You can sway side to side. Again, bending one knee while straightening the other. You can bounce the hips if that feels good to you. And something I like to add in here sometimes is just imagine any heavy burdens you've been carrying on your back. Just roll off the back to be released. Just release anything that has been weighing heavy on your shoulders. We're talking about microdosing today, and a phrase that people have used to describe addiction before is this monkey on your back. So if you have one of those, just imagine it releasing, no longer on your back, no longer on your shoulders. One more big inhale. And exhale. Slowly start to come on up to a halfway lift. So this serves two purposes. It starts to get the abdominals engaged. Remember, I talked a lot last week about keeping the glutes and hamstrings engaged. The halfway lift also gives yourself a chance to equalize the blood pressure from bending over so much. So big inhale here. And exhale, fold. Two more, inhale up. And exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse a swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Maybe even close the eyes and just come back to your intention. When you're ready, gently flutter the eyes open. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, soft knees, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and come into a high plank position. So we've been doing a little bit more abs in these classes. So we're going to keep that going today. We're going to go ahead and get started by dropping the hips in both directions. Just activating that core. You can go nice and slow like I'm going, or you can move the hips quickly here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big inhale. You can stay high or just come to the knees if you need to. And exhale, lower to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up through a low cobra. We're going to change it up today. Exhale, lower down. Bring the fingers wide and the feet wide. We're going to inhale, rolling up through high cobra. And exhale, lower down. So we'll do that a couple more times. Inhale up, low cobra. Exhale, lower down, fingers and feet wide. Inhale, roll it up, high cobra. Notice I'm just on my fingertips. And exhale, roll it down. One more. Inhale up, low cobra. And exhale, lower down. Itsy bitsy spider fingers. Inhale, roll it up. And exhale, roll it down. Inhale through tabletop or high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, knee to the left elbow. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, knee to the right elbow or armpit. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, step it through. Let's lower to the left knee, uncurl the left toes. Beautiful. Inhale up here. Finding a variation of crescent. So you're not straight down on that back knee, but forward here. Arms reaching up towards the sky. And one of the most important things is that you can really feel that energy coming from the heel up through the legs, activating the quadriceps, the hips. So typically I teach a flow class. I teach a lot of movement, but I realize that that's something that I am maybe becoming addicted to as well, addicted to this moving. So we're going to take little microdoses of stillness as we move throughout the practice today. Remembering the roots of this hatha yoga, where we're holding yoga poses and building lots of strength. And breathe for 4. Can you feel the strength? This isn't about the stretch, this is about the strength. 3. Those of you just joining, you're welcome to jump in at any time. 2. Nice morning yoga flow. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, come on down. It's not easy to do it, I know. Curling the back toe under, straighten that back leg. And when you're ready, step it back, high plank position. And moving those hips for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big inhale. Exhale, lower down. You can always come to the knees. Inhale up, low cobra. Exhale, lower down, fingers wide, feet wide. Inhale, roll it up, high cobra. And exhale, lower again. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale, lower. And inhale up, high cobra. And exhale, lower. Inhale through tabletop or high plank if you choose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, to the right elbow. Inhale, reach. And exhale to the left. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, step it through. Lower to the back knee, uncurl the back toes. And when you're ready, come on up. So same concepts as the first side. It's going to feel more pressure on the kneecap if you're going straight down. But if you're kind of on the top of the kneecap, it'll feel better. Left knee stacks directly over left ankle. And arms reach up. Now, there's a way to just sink into this pose and make it a stretch. But how can we find the strength? Feel that earth energy traveling up the leg and activating the hamstrings, the glutes. The hips and shoulders are square. And again, we're trying to make sure that we're not addicted to anything. Right? Talking about addiction today, talking about microdosing. Even noticing my addiction to movement and yoga. And what happens if we just microdose on these moments of stillness? For 3, 2. For those of you just joining, just hop in, just join. Just start moving. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale here. And exhale, float the hands down, curl the back toes under, straighten the back leg. Send it back through high plank. And into downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. For 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. And exhale, step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, dive deep. Inhale, reverse the swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Come back to your intention. Coming back to this theme that we've been working with today. Is there anything in your life that's on that slippery slope to where it's out of control? These times of quarantine, we can be addicted to stress, drama, food, substances, social media. And how can we just allow ourselves to microdose on these things so that we can stay in balance with them? As we move through the practice, we'll be microdosing on these moments of stillness to make sure that we're not addicted to just moving so fast through our yoga practice. It's just a checks and balances time. All right. We're going to offer an addition of a push-up in this next flow. You're welcome to take it on the knees, or you're welcome to skip it altogether. See what feels good for you. When you're ready, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, find your high plank position. This time, instead of shifting the hips, we're going to drop the knees. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale here. You can always come to the knees. As you exhale, lower to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, inhale up, low cobra. Exhale, lower down, fingertips wide, so you're just doming the fingers here. Inhale, roll it up, high cobra. And exhale, lower down. Use the knees if you need to. You're going to inhale up, push up. And exhale, lower. Let's do that again. Inhale up, low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale up, high cobra up on those fingertips. Exhale, lower down. Plant the hands. Inhale up, push up. I'm on my knees, that's okay. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Inhale through tabletop or high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, knee to the left side. Inhale, reach. And exhale to the right. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, step it through. We're going to stay high this time. So make sure the toes align with the fingertips and squeeze the inner thighs together as you come on up. Really focusing on where your right heel meets the earth so that that energy can travel up through the legs. And we're going to really firm into the legs today as we take these little microdoses of longer holds and breathe. Couple more deep breaths here. Big inhales and exhales. If you remember how hard beginner yoga classes were, a lot of times it's because we were holding our poses so long to get all those alignments, right? Hips square to the front, hips level to the earth, right knee over right ankle. Make sure you got it. Big inhale here. Exhale, blossom open, warrior 2. So right heel lined up with the inner arch of the left foot. There's still a deep bend in this right leg. Make sure your quads are not doing all the work, but some of the work is in your glutes. And breathe. And then the arms come down to shoulder level here. Gazing over that right middle finger. Holding steady here, allowing yourself these moments of stillness in the midst of the movement. One more big inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. So right forearm to right knee and left arm up and over. If you saw the yoga picture that I posted advertising today's class, this is the pose that we're working towards. So right forearm to right knee, left arm up and over. There's a straight line from the outside of the left foot out through the left fingertips. And notice if you're sinking into that right shoulder, come up and out. Part of the reason I wanted to do some longer holds today is I was doing some like then and now posting on social media. It's a part of an Instagram challenge that I'm in. If you're on Instagram, if you could look me up, Life in Perfect Balance, all one word. But I have all these amazing yoga photos, and I remembered how hard it was to take those photos and actually hold these poses instead of just flowing right through. I'm like, can't you just catch it at the perfect time when I land? It's like, nope, you gotta hold. What are we doing here? Are we just moving, or are we really allowing for the time to build our strength? I'm shaking a little bit. You might be too. One more big inhale. And exhale. Staying deep in that front knee. Reverse warrior. Right arm up and back. Big inhale. And exhale, windmill down. Left hand, right hand. Step back, high plank position. Beautiful. And you can do the hip dips for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. And exhale, lower to the earth. Inhale up, low cobra. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, roll it up, high cobra. And exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Inhale up, push up. And exhale, lower down. Inhale through tabletop. And exhale, child's pose. Allow yourself a moment of rest in the midst of this work. Microdosing on stillness, microdosing on rest. Just keeping ourselves in check. Make sure we're not addicted to anything. Coming back to your intention. 2 more deep breaths. Can open mouth exhale to let go. Anything you need to let go of. 1 more big inhale. And exhale. Inhale up through tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, dive deep, forward fold. Inhale, reverse the swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Come back to your intention. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Come back to a high plank position. This time we're doing the knee drops for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big inhale here. Stay higher, come to the knees, and exhale, lower to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up, low cobra. Exhale, lower down, fingers wide. Inhale up, high cobra. And exhale, lower, plant the hands. Inhale, find a push-up. On the knees if you need to. That's what I'm doing. Exhale, lower down. Inhale up through tabletop or high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, knee to the right elbow. Inhale, reach. And exhale to the left. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, step it through. Squeeze the inner thighs. Come on up. Finding your lunge here. So remembering what it's like to hold these poses, to find some stillness. I love this concept of microdosing because we can microdose movement throughout the day, especially if you're working from home, sitting a lot. We can also microdose stillness throughout our movement, especially if you're one of those coffee people, right? Feeling that energy traveling up from the left heel into the legs and the glutes. Holding steady here, breathe. 2 more deep breaths. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale here. And exhale. Blossom open. Warrior 2. So it's the same leg hold here through all these poses. That's what's really going to give us that strength building that we're working with today. Holding strong and steady here. And then the arms come to shoulder height. Gaze is over that left middle finger. Taking a few deep breaths here. Just make sure the knee is over the ankle and the heel is lined up with the inner arch of that back foot. 2 more big inhales. And exhales. Last one. Beautiful. When you're ready, left forearm to left knee, right arm up and over. So extended side angle here. There's a nice straight line from the right outside edge of the right foot out through these fingertips. There's not sinking down in that shoulder, coming up and out. There's even a little bit of a rotation of the heart towards the sky, and breathe. Holding strong in that lower leg. 2 more. You got this. You're so much stronger than you think you are. That's how you know you can quit any addiction that's happening to you. Quit cold brew turkey. 1 more big inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, staying deep in that front knee. Reach back, reverse warrior. That's your inhale. And exhale, windmill down. Left hand, right hand. Step it back, high plank. Inhale, stay high or come to the knees. Exhale, lower to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up, low cobra. Exhale, gently lower, fingers wide. Inhale, roll it up, high cobra. And exhale, gently lower down. Inhale, find your push-up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up through tabletop. And exhale, child's pose. Give yourself this moment of rest. Microdosing on rest in the midst of the movement. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, big inhale. And exhale. And inhale up through tabletop position. And exhale, downward facing dog. If you're just joining us, we're getting towards the end of our flow and we'll be more down on the floor for some stretching and relaxation, so you're welcome to jump in at any time. Beautiful. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, dive deep. Inhale, reverse a swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to use a vinyasa to get down into some deeper stretching poses. It's a little bit of a different style class than the past week, but still working a lot on strengthening, and you'll feel the effort in the surrender of these stretches as well, I promise. All right, when you're ready, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, swan dive down. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, come on back. High plank position. We're going to tip the hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big inhale, stay high or come to the knees. And exhale, lower to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up, low cobra. Exhale, lower down, fingers wide. Inhale, roll it up, high cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, find a push-up. And exhale, lower. Beautiful. Inhale up through tabletop or high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale to the left elbow. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale to the right. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, step it through. This time lower to your back knee, uncurl your back toes. Beautiful. Plant your left hand on the earth, just inside that right foot. And inhale, right arm reaches up and then back. This might be enough for you. You're welcome to roll to the knife edge of the right foot. So keeping that foot flexed, just roll to the knife edge there. Feel a deeper stretch through the leg. You might even bend into that back knee and reach back and grab it with that back hand. So maybe you're just holding here. That's okay. Maybe you're holding here. It's perfect. Maybe you're all the way here with the bind, the reach, the grab. And breathe. Finding these moments of stillness in the midst of the movement. Deep breaths here. For those of you that are just joining, we're kind of winding down. You're welcome to jump in at any point. You can also watch the replay of this one. I've been posting them all on my page. Just breathe for 5, 4, 3. Sigh it out, 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Slowly unwind. We're going to tiptoe that right foot across the mat, releasing onto the right shin for a pigeon pose here. So be careful you're not sinking into your pigeon pose, but you find that little bit of a lift. Maybe if you can lift your fingers off the ground a little bit, that's how you'll know that you have this lift. And then keeping that lift, you can come on down to the forearms, to the forehead. Maybe you have 2 stacked fists under the forehead or 2 stacked hands. Just allowing yourself this moment of stillness and this deep stretch here. If this class is too difficult for you, check in Tuesday, Thursday, 3 to 4 p.m. I teach a gentle restorative class. It's Colorado time. They're all being posted on Facebook Live. Feel free to share with any loved ones that might benefit from this practice. And breathe for 3, 2, last one big inhale. And exhale. And slowly come back up to the hands. Plant the hands as if you were going into downward facing dog. Curl the back toes under and straighten that back leg. Then lifting up through the back of the heart first. Gonna reach up, right leg reaches. I gotta get on my mat to do that. Shake it out. And finding downward facing dog. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale to the right elbow. Inhale, reach. And exhale to the left. Inhale, reach. And exhale, step it through. Lower to the back knee. So we want to make sure knee comes over ankle here. And that you're just on the top of the kneecap of that back knee. You can uncurl the back toes. Plant the right hand. Left arm reaches up and then back. So maybe you're just holding here. Maybe you're all the way here. And that's enough. So we have these options. You can roll to the knife edge of the left foot and really start to get a little bit deeper into that hip. You also have the option to bend into the back knee and grab with that back hand. Especially after these long holds, it can feel really good to do some of these leg openers. Not sinking down in that front shoulder, but coming up and out for 4, 3, 2, last one, big inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly unwind. Toe heel that left foot across, so you're resting on the shin. And you're just finding that little lift to make sure that you've got that engagement before you come on down for your pigeon pose. Allowing yourself this moment of stillness, this moment of rest, this moment of surrender to a deep stretch, and breathe. Coming back to your intention. Sigh it out if you need to. Let's do 3 more. Two. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly come back up onto the hands. Curl the back toes under, straighten that back leg. And you can reach it up and back, shake it out. And finding downward facing dog, we're going to hop through to seated. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. Exhale, hop through to seated. And just find yourself in this seated position. For those of you that are just joining, we're kind of winding down here, getting into some stretches, moving into our deep relaxation, so it's the perfect time to join if you want to just jump right in. So go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Allow your feet to open like a book, grab a hold of the ankles and scoop the heart through. Take a nice deep breath here. Then on an exhale, draw your heart towards your feet. If you'd like to, you can press your elbows into the knees to come a little bit deeper. I like a little sway, a little flutter, and breathe. For 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly start to come on up. Starting to bring the legs wide. And just start to kind of sway yourself side to side. You can bring the hands forward. Kind of walk the hands forward just as far as you can here. We're just gently kind of winding down from the flow portion of the class through some of these kind of juicy stretches, the nice sway with deep breath. And we're moving into our final deep relaxation. For 3. 2. And 1 big inhale. And exhale. And start to come on up. For those of you that are just joining, our theme today is microdosing. Bring the feet together. Even microdosing on stretching, we wouldn't want to hang out in any of these poses like all day long. But if you do little microdoses, if you just do a couple little stretches throughout the day, especially if you're working from home, especially if you're sitting a lot, you're going to feel a lot better when you do these little stretches throughout the day. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, find your forward fold. Take a few breaths here. What feels good to you? I like to stay lifted and not round the forehead forward, but you know, I also am doing many yoga classes a week, so I'm really mindful not to overstretch my back. If you're just doing 1 or 2 or 3 yoga classes a week, at this point I say just do what feels good to you. Notice I like to sway a lot in my yoga practice. It just feels so good to sway. And breathe. For 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly start to come on up. Let's go ahead and keep the left foot in front and bring the right foot behind. Now there's a 90-degree bend in the left leg and a 90-degree bend in the left foot. The right leg is coming at least straight out from the right hip, but ideally a little bit back, like 10 or 20 degrees back. And then you've got that right angle in the right knee and the right foot. Inhale here. And exhale, start to bring the hands over that left foot. This is like a deeper way of getting into pigeon pose, especially if you found pigeon pose to be really challenging. I invite you to start with this. In my class and any other classes, you can always come to this as an option for pigeon pose. So the heart is coming on an angle towards that left foot. You might be up on the hands for sure. And you might notice that when you just allow yourself to breathe here, you might be able to melt into your forearms. You might be able to reach your forehead towards your foot. I always find it really funny to try this, to microdose on this pose throughout the day. It's like early in the morning, there's no way my head is meeting this foot. Later in the day, totally possible. So that's our theme for today. Those of you that are just joining, like, how can we make sure we're not getting addicted to anything in this challenging time where it's easy to become addicted to our partners, to our coffee, to our social media, even getting addicted to work, you know? And how can we just microdose on these things? How can you set a work timer to work for an hour and then do a dance break for 5 minutes? Or to, you know, cook dinner for your family, but then do 10 minutes of stretching before you eat. You know, there's all different ways to use this idea of microdosing. For me, it's been coffee, quitting coffee, and then wanting to integrate it, but realizing I can do just a tiny little bit. That's all I need. All right, when you're ready, come on up. Let's switch to the other side. So right foot in front, left foot back. There's this 90-degree angle here. And then this leg is coming straight out from the hip, or preferably a little bit behind. And then hands come to either side of that right foot. Big inhale. And on an exhale, you can slowly start to come down. Maybe you're still lifted. Maybe the forearms come down. The forehead moving towards that foot. Maybe this is a good pose for you to try a couple times throughout the day. And just see the benefits that you get from like microdosing on a yoga pose. How does that feel to you? If you guys have any questions about what I mean when I say microdosing, and you know, there's a lot of, I'm kind of using it in a very broad sense, but there's some very specific uses, and I'd be happy to talk to you about those if you want to just send me a message. And breathe. Here we go. See what happens when you take a sigh. Maybe you sink even deeper. Let's do 2 more. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly start to come on up. Swing the legs around in front. Give them a little shake. And scooch towards the front of your mat. Roll all the way down onto the back. Let's bring the feet wide. And let the knees knock together. Take a minute to rest here. Next, inhale, the knees come up over the feet. And exhale, windshield wiper the knees to the right. Inhale up through center. And exhale, windshield wiper the knees to the left. Inhale up through center. Exhale, knees to the right. Inhale up through center. And exhale, knees to the left. Couple more deep breaths. Follow your breath here. Big inhales. And exhales. Inhale. And exhale over. Next time your knees are to the right, you can place the right foot on the left knee if you choose. And just reach that left arm up and back and feel the nice stretch all the way along that left side body. A couple deep breaths here. Sometimes I like to kind of massage, if that feels good to you. 2 more. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Slowly release the right foot. Inhale up through center. And exhale, drop the knees to the left. So you can place that left foot on the right knee and really reach the right fingertips up and back and behind you. And take a few deep breaths here into that side body. You might notice one side's tighter than the other. You can always go back to that side as you're kind of microdosing your stretches throughout the day. 3 more deep breaths. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly release that left foot. Come back up to center. And from here, you can take any organic movement that feels good to you. So for some people, it's going to feel really good to take a happy baby as I'm demoing here. And you can kind of move through that. For others of you might have other poses that your body's calling for right now. Just take a few minutes to move freely in whatever way your body wants to move. And we're preparing for our final Shavasana. So final Shavasana is going to be flat on the ground, and or you can always use a bolster under the knees. Final Shavasana, flat on the earth, palms face up. When you think about how deep you can go into a meditation that might be 30 minutes, that's a short one. Some people can meditate for an hour. This 5 to 10 minute relaxation at the end of class really is just a microdose. But the thing about microdoses is it's not about doing less and getting less. In my mind, it's about doing less and getting more. What happens when we just microdose on social media? We just make our post, share ourselves with the world, and then we put it away and do other kind of work. What happens when we microdose on that chocolate or that ice cream or whatever your comfort food might be? Can you have just a small amount and savor every bite the way that the sugar dissolves on your tongue in every bite, so much more than if you were just scarfing a whole bowl? When you plan quality time with your partner or your kids, and you allow yourself to take space in between, even if it's just energetic space during this quarantine time, how can you just schedule 30 minutes or an hour or just 2 nights a week where you really connect, just these little bursts as opposed to just full-time half-assed connecting, right? Just noticing how this theme has landed for you today. Any intentions that are coming to you or through you at this time. Feel your entire body relax and melt deep into the floor. Feel a heaviness and a relaxation wash from the toes up through the hips. from the hands up through the shoulders. Feel the entire back body soften and lengthen and relax. Feel the front body do the same. Feel all of the internal organs soften and sink deep. Feel that swirling wave of relaxation in and around the lungs and the ribs. In and around the heart space. In and around the neck and the throat. And swirling around and relaxing the skull and the scalp and the hair. Through the entire face, soften and relax as if it's just hanging on your skull. Relaxing the internal parts of the face, the throat and the tongue and the teeth, the sinuses. The eyes sink deeply in their sockets. As your awareness gently rolls inwards and upwards to the center of the brain at the tippy top of the spinal column, recognize this as a moment of samadhi. A moment of pure bliss. A moment of nirvana, of oneness, of connection. Recognizing that it might be challenging to live your life with the eyes closed, focused on your third eye, just in this blissed out state all the time, but can we allow ourselves to microdose on these moments? To breathe them in so they might inform the rest of your day. Uniting the body, mind, and spirit through the deepening of the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. You can move the head from side to side and reach the arms up overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. From the fingers to the toes, don't forget the toes. And exhale, soften. Bend one knee at a time, bring your feet to the mat below you, and roll to either side through the fetal position for just a moment. And when you're ready, gently press yourself up to your comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall. Coming back to your intention, our theme, maybe you're microdosing on some deep breaths throughout the day. I've been offering lots of little tidbits here, but I'd love to hear from you guys if you have a minute after this class to let me know what you'll be microdosing on and how this theme has inspired you. Also, let me know any special requests if there's a different time that works better for you for yoga, or if you're looking for a different style of yoga, or any special requests of poses that you want me to break down and work us into. I'm here for you. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Remembering your intentions as you bring your hands to press together at heart center. And sealing our class with 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om in through the nose and out through the mouth. This time sigh. This time om. Thumbs to the heart, lips, and forehead remind us to keep peace in our hearts, in our words, and in our thoughts. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. It's such a thrill to just be able to offer this and share my morning practice with you guys. If there's anyone in your life that you think might like to do this practice, I'll post it on Facebook right after this, and feel free to share. And this is a pay what you can class, so if you can't pay anything, send me a shout out or a blessing. And if you can, I've posted my Venmo and my PayPal in the description of this class. And I'd love feedback. Like I said, special requests. Let me know what you're doing with microdosing. Reach out if you have any questions about that, or about my yoga classes, or my one-on-one sessions. And so my next class is tomorrow, Tuesday, from 3 to 4 p.m. Colorado time, and it's a restorative class. And then I'll be back with more of a hardcore kind of morning flow. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. And then Tuesday, Thursday, 3 to 4 restorative. So thank you guys so much. So much love. I hope you have a great day. Let me know how you're doing with the coffee too.